What's up, guys? Welcome to Kevin's Garage. Today we're in Pika's Automotive Garage mode. We got a 2012 Toyota 4Runner. We're going to go ahead and do some tie rod inners and some tie rod outers, and probably some sway bar end links. We're going to go ahead and take off the wheels. Obviously, you got to take off the wheels to get to the insides, but we're going to go ahead and use our impact. You could still do this on the ground. You just have to make sure the wheel's touching the ground and use a breaker bar or a really long wrench if you can. But we're going to go ahead and take this off for you guys. Now that we have the wheel off, we got identified this is our tie rod right here. This is our tie rod end. Might be a little hard to see from your angle, but pretty much this is where it connects to the steering knuckle. It's pretty much going to tell the wheel how far in or out to when you turn left or right. We're pretty much going to undo this nut right here. We're going to do this nut. We're going to pop this off. We can do this from the inner tie rod. And we're going to take off this boot that goes further down. And then we're going to have to undo the clip on that inside piece. We'll show you more up close videos, but we're going to go ahead and take this off first, and then we'll just take it step by step. So right here, you guys can see that you have a cotter pin. So with the cotter pin, you're just going to fold these ends back together. You're going to fold these ends back together, and then you're going to grab it from this hook right here, and you're just going to pretty much wiggle it out. Might be a little hard. You might have to restrain the cotter pin, but pretty much you're going to just take this out. That's what the cotter pin looks like once you take it out. We're going to go ahead and get a socket. We're going to impact this off, but we always want to keep it on the top threads because we're going to actually end up hammering this side of the knuckle. That way we can pop this down and it doesn't just fall straight out. Some people don't mind it unless you want to hit on the studs. I mean, if you know we're not going to reuse it, you could definitely hit it on top of the studs and you're going to be putting a new one in anyways. But we're going to go ahead and take a impact, zip this off, start hitting it, and then it should drop. Go ahead and leave a couple threads on there, and we're going to go get a hammer, and I'm going to start smacking this so it can pop out. This might pop, so we have to be careful. Jesus. There's a tie rod end buster. You pretty much put it on, leave the stud on the top portion, and then with weight it just pops it off. But really good tool. We're gonna go ahead and continue taking off this boot. I'm gonna show you guys how to take off the boot, and then we're gonna take off this whole assembly as one big piece. When you're taking off a boot and you're gonna reuse that boot, we always recommend replacing them, but you can reuse them if you like. We're gonna go ahead. So since we're gonna get a car anyways, because you should definitely always get an alignment when we're doing these. But we're gonna go ahead and tape off the threads where this nut is already at. So we're gonna tape the threads. That way, when we take the nut off all the way to take off the boot, you can see here that we'll still be able to remember where our thread was, where the nut sat. Could be regular tape. I like using electrical tape. It's pretty elastic. So right there, you want to get it just to where it's touching the back of the nut. You're gonna spin this around. I like using electrical tape because you can actually wrap it pretty tight, so it doesn't move on you or anything like that. Remember, you just want it touching the back of the nut. Cut the tape. There you go. So now when we take off this nut and this outer tie rod, we can remember where the nut was backed up at least to get a pretty close approximate. You're not gonna be exact. The alignment will be a tad bit off, just depending how close you're able to get it. But this will help us tremendously, at least being able to get the car down to the alignment rack and get it aligned. So the way I like to do is I like to get two adjustable wrench, one on the tie rod, one on the inner tie rod. And pretty much a lot of people like to kind of prime them backwards. I like to get them pretty close so where you can kind of get them both in both your hands. And pretty much what you're going to do is you're just going to squeeze your hands together and get them to pop. If you can't, you can always go the extra mile of putting them a little bit separate out. You can put it right here. Just like that. Take both these off. Twist this whole thing back. Make sure you put the nut close back on. Now you twist it off. Like that.
Oh, okay, I see. So
All right, take this off. We're gonna take off this clip. Boom, bada bing. There you go. I like to use a master inner tie rod set. You can use any brand you like. We just happen to have OEM with us. It's a good brand nonetheless. So pretty much what this allows you to do is a lot of times these power steering racks are pretty inside of the vehicle, and you'll see it right now when we get it on when we get the two on the car. But pretty much you're always constantly battling that you can't get a wrench pretty much at the end of the inner tie rod. So you can't get a wrench because either the subframe's in the way or you maybe have some lines running in the way. Whatever the case is, we like using these tools because you pretty much grab one of these adapters, you put it on the end, and it pretty much acts like an extension. So you put it on the inner tie rod, you put your wrench on this back piece right here, you put your wrench, and then with your wrench, you're pretty much just turning it like this. So it just acts like one big extension piece. And right now we're going to put it on the car and show you guys how it works. So right there, now we're getting a breaker bar on this. This is gonna be your setup. You're gonna have a 90, your extension on there, and you're pretty much just gonna twist, just like that. So we broke it loose. Take the tool off, take the crowbar off, crow foot, and now we just twist it off. And that's our tool right there. Works pretty well. So pretty much we're gonna compare our tool to the old tool. You see right there, pretty identical, same thread length. And now that we marked where our old nut was backed up to, which is right here, we can match it on this side too with some tape. So we'll go ahead and tape this side too. I like to get them on the flat edge on both of them so they're both equally spread out. And pretty much what we're going to do now is we're going to match where we put that tape on that tool. I'm going to put the tape on this one now so we can have a pretty close alignment to what we had prior. Still going to take it to the alignment rack, but it's better to be close than to be way far off. So now when we put these together, you can see that our tapes are pretty close to where they were. So now we'll back this nut up to right there. That'll be the back of the nut, and then it'll be pretty close on our alignment. So now we can throw this part on, take this nut off because we still have to slip the boot over. Right there. There you go. There you go. So now it's locked on. Let's get our breaker bar. I'm going to go ahead and tighten this. So you want to go until you can't tighten it no more. We don't want to break it, but we definitely want to get it pretty snug on there. Maybe 3/4 of a turn. And there she is. It's on there nice and tight. Get this tool off. She is good to go. Right there, you see our boot locked right here. So that means that's as far in as I'll go. Put on the clip that comes on the boot. It's pretty much just a lock in the boot so it doesn't slide on and off. And simple as that, just goes on. Now for the back portion, guys, what we like to do is you could reuse a metal clip style like how factory comes. You can use a zip tie. Honestly does the same. We're just trying to make sure that the boot doesn't slide off. Oh yeah, that's tight. So you can see that the tie rod end is pointing downwards, but ours has to point upwards. So you could right now, you could back up this nut, spin it one rotation up, and it'll be perfectly fine. You could back off tie rod end, tighten the nut up, and it will probably most likely be perfectly fine as well. You gotta remember we're putting new parts, so this isn't gonna be exactly how we put it on prior, but you'll be fine. This is just good enough to get you to an alignment rack, get it aligned correctly, properly, and accurately. But this will do. So we're just gonna leave it as so. I'm gonna put the nut until it touches the back. Now that we know where our old nut was, we can take off the tape. And now with this, you see this little squared edge here. You see this little square edge right here. This is enough to put an adjustable wrench on. You come put the adjustable wrench right here. Show you guys. You get the adjustable wrench. That will hold your tie rod in. You get another adjustable wrench or a size wrench if you like. Put it on this side, and you're pretty much going to just snug them up together. And remember, we want to get it real snug. There you go. And that is it. She is ready to get put back on. So this is snug right here. This is just finger tight. Cotter pin is lined up, but we want to get a little bit more snug. So I'm going to turn it until we can get one of the other pass-throughs to line up with that. So right here, we're going to go ahead and put it on. So you can see off of our hole right here, the pass-through isn't lining up exactly with the hole. So we're going to keep turning it until it lines up. I would say that is good right there. There's our cotter pin. We're going to go ahead and put this through. So put it right there. A little hammer, tap it in. So you see right there, cotter pin came through. So we're going to go ahead, turn this flap up right here. So pretty much, guys, the point of the cotter pin is to pass through. So this nut can never, if it were to become loose, it wouldn't be able to spin itself back out because that would be a safety issue. You would lose control of steering. Pretty much pushing the cotter pin through, you bend this tab up, you bend this tab down. If you wanted to put it through sideways, you could bend them out, kind of look like a spreading out effect. But pretty much they all do the same thing. It's just preference at that point. Put it through. This is already tight. We lined up our holes. Push the pass through with the cotter pin, and pretty much spread these out so it can never be backed out. And pretty much that takes care of the inner tie rod, outer tie rod on this vehicle. We're gonna go ahead and swap out the stabilizer end link. Let's go ahead and take off this sway bar end link stabilizer. Pop that off. I don't think I could fit my wrench in there on my impact. Put a wrench real fast. Take that off. That off. So pop this out. Pull this out. Boom, bada bing, guys. She is out. Yeah. So we gotta remember the orientation of which this goes. So you can tell here we have a shorter rod, and here we have a longer rod that actually protrudes out more. So we know this will be our top portion, this will be our bottom portion. Put that part to the side. Here's our new one. So same orientation, guys. Shorter on the bottom, longer on the top. Take this off. We're gonna hand tighten the threads on here. So I want to get it somewhat snug. So these do have plastic inserts that help the nut not to back out on itself. So I like to impact these on, just kind of get them through a little bit easier. So now we're gonna go ahead and cinch this down. I think I'm on level 1 for some reason. Level 3. Right there. So mind you, I only got it just to get it to the bottom, or to the bottom of the rod, just to get it snug. We're gonna hand tighten that down. Same thing with the other connection. We don't want to tighten it with our impact. We want to go by feel, because that's how you easily stretch out or strip nuts and threads. Right there. Just got it tight. Now I like to go on my wrench, and I like to feel for how tight the bolt's getting. Remember, we don't want to strip these threads by any means. It's right there. So that's pretty good right there. Come down here, do the same thing. Right there. And that's pretty much it, guys. We got a new sway bar inley. We have a new inner and outer tie rod. Everything's put back together. We're going to go ahead and straighten out the steering wheel, put the wheel back on. All right, guys, so I put the wheel back on. We just have it on the studs. I like to put my foot underneath so the wheel doesn't fall off or you miss a line on these lugs. So for these lugs, guys, these are what we call a stab lug. Because pretty much there's a hole big enough just for this top portion of the stud to go through. So you pretty much want to line it up real good. You should feel it go all the way through. Once you know that it went all the way through, you're good. But there's a chance to use this as an example. Should fit perfectly right there. But if we look more in and you're not centered, sometimes you might even catch it per se right here on the lip, and you think you have the wheel tight, but it's not tight and it's not centered. You'll pretty much just gouge this metal, and it won't get tight at all. So you have to be careful when putting these on. That right there, the wheel fell off. Put that back up. Find our first lug. So you should be able to get a good amount of threads on here before anything happens. Right here, I'm simply going to go through, still going. And then I like to wiggle the wheel back and forth just to make sure we're centric. And there it is. Now it won't come off. We're centered. We're not on the lip of the metal or the rim. And we're actually all the way through. And then what I like to do, just to double check, I'll go across to make sure that all the legs are centered. Remember, it should be able to throw a good amount of bit, same as this one. Just like that. Now we know that the legs are all the way in. They stab their way through and they're hitting the back. They're tightening the rim to the steering knuckle. And you're all good. Now you don't have to worry about these four left, because since these two already centered the rim on the hub, these will go in perfectly straight. Even though we're just tying this just to get this on the ground to get a final torque, I like to just only do two ugga-duggas pretty much. So you're only going to hear it click twice. Because remember, guys, with this, we just want to get it snugged up to the hub. That way, when we drop and put the weight back on the wheel, it's not necessarily tight to where our final is over torqued. We just want to get it snugged that we can put the wheel on the ground, have that hold this still, and we could give our final torque down. We got the wheel touching the ground. We're gonna go ahead and torque this down. So you want to turn it until you hear a click. Go in the start pattern. And at PKs, we like to always, once we do our start pattern, we'll go back around, check everything, make sure it's torqued. And this will be torqued to 83 foot-pounds. That will ensure all the wheels are tightened correctly. All right, guys, pretty much wraps up our video for the inner tie rod replacement, outer tie rod replacement. Also have a stabilizer end link. Pretty much that's pretty much wraps it for today. We showed you how to swap these parts out. Showed you how to keep a pretty close alignment to what you had prior, since we're swapping out the inner tie rods. And yeah, it should be good. If you guys have any questions, please let us know down in the comments. We'll be happy to answer if you guys have any problems or anything like that.